Rally, and we are going to talk about VAWA. VAWA, the Violence Against Women Act, famously enacted by our present president in 1992 when he was a senator. And we are going to talk about the 5 main requirements for VAWA. VAWA, like I said, is meant for Violence Against Women Act, but it can also be used for men. And in this new society, we are seeing a lot more of situations where men are also getting abused, and as such, we are going to talk a little bit about that too. To qualify for VAWA, you have to have a qualifying relationship. What is a qualifying relationship? A qualifying relationship is when you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. It used to be when you're married to a U.S. citizen, green card holder, it took some time to get the green card. But now, since the dates are current for green card holders also, it doesn't take that long to get the green card through VAWA. The first step, of course, is the I-360, but we're going to go with the 5 main elements you have to have. The first one is a qualifying relationship. The second one, the VAWA must have happened inside the United States, the abusive relationship. When we're talking about abusive relationship, we are talking about everything from moral abuse, mental abuse, to pretty much everything you can think of constitute abuse. For example, mistreating someone, calling them names, a different race, racial slurs, physical abuse. You don't have to have physical abuse, by the way. Most of our cases are mental abuses, and in those cases, we usually use a therapist to certify that this person not only has been abused, but that person also is telling the truth. And that's the second element you have to have in a VAWA. The third one, the person, of course, has to be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident. We mentioned that in number 1, but it's also, we can put it as an additional element, but it's kind of number 1 also. But you have to have the relationship of number 1, which means a marriage. It cannot just be a living together. No, it won't work. Well, of course, if you have domestic violence, you can have U visa, but this video is for VAWA. And the fourth one is the abuse have to have happened in the hands of the permanent resident. Well, this is a little bit tricky. For example, let's say the husband or the wife is letting her parents or his parents abuse the spouse, the person who's applying for the VAWA. This can also work. We had a case, I remember, where the father-in-law was abusive and the son would let it happen. He was sexually abusive towards the daughter-in-law, plus also he was let it happen, and the mother-in-law also would let it happen. So based on that, we were able to get a VAWA case. And finally, you have to be a person of good moral character. The good moral character can also be determined in many ways, but one of the ways is, of course, to know exactly what is a good moral character. For example, let's say someone is fighting you and you're fighting back, and you get a case on you on that. It might not affect your moral character because you were defending yourself against the abuser. But that doesn't mean you just go and hit the abuser for nothing, and then you become the abuser. So if you have all those elements, we can file something called VAWA. I have filed many of them, and I'm very proud to say that our team has been successful in most of them. And of course, if you need help, 510-742-5887. And by the way, this is Attorney Rally from the Rally Law Group. Please subscribe to our channel, and you will see the subscribe button on the bottom here. Okay, can you see my hand? Please click on that and also share it with your friends, because we are, last month I think was the month about domestic violence. And this has been going on for years. The case when I became a lawyer was a VAWA case. So it is important that you understand that being in an abusive relationship is something that is not right. And the truth is that many times people don't even know they are in an abusive relationship until I talk to them. I had a case where a person from Africa, I won't give the name of the country, his wife was actually kind of mistreating him, saying that, hey, you're from Africa. And she was thinking it's funny. She will give him food on the floor, stating that in Africa, people eat the food on the floor. And she would do that several times and in front of people just to show that she has control. And that's an abuse. Well, there were other abuses in that case, but that one really struck everybody. And that's what really made us win the case. We had another case also where someone didn't hit the spouse. He actually hit the wall every time she will talk to him, and he gets upset. He will keep punching the wall in front of her, showing her how strong he is. And that will scare her. And that's also an abuse. So abuse also have been sexual. We had cases where a person was bringing other people to have a sexual relationship with his wife. And she didn't accept it. She was not agreeing to that, but he will push her to do it for money or for other things. And those are the kind of things, examples of VAWA. There are many, many examples, right? So if you meet those requirements and you are in a relationship, you don't have to stay in the relationship, by the way. You can get out, but if you file a divorce, you have 2 years to file the VAWA. That's one thing. Number two, you can still be in the relationship because many times people are scared to leave. So they stay in that relationship and we can still file the VAWA. But one thing which is important, a lot of people, as soon as they file the VAWA, they get divorced, they get remarried. Once you get remarried, the VAWA is going to stop. So don't get remarried. I'm not citing any source of law here because it will make things complicated. I'm giving you a simplified version of what is VAWA. VAWA, Violence Against Women Act, can be used also for men. We have done now as many cases for men as women. Unfortunately, the society is equalizing in some places the wrong way, and that's a sad part of it. And for all those who need help, please feel free to call 510-742-5887. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. And anything I told you today is my opinion. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions. Thank you.